Professional politicians out, business leaders in. Voters sending another strong message this week, this time in Florida's Republican primary for governor. Former healthcare CEO Rick Scott beating a political insider despite being portrayed as a greedy healthcare crook. Our voters telling us electing people who actually create jobs is the best way to get Americans back to work. Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Cassoni, and welcome to Cashin' In. Our Cashin' In crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Hoenig, Tracy Burns, along with radio talk show host Mark Levine and Mr. Charlie Gasparino from the Fox Business Network. Be sure to pick up Charlie's new book, out this October, Bought and Paid For. All right, welcome to all of you. All right, Rick, Scott, joining Meg Whitman, Carly Fiorina, other executives winning at the polls. Tracy, do you think that we need to replace these career politicians with these types of folks to help maybe fix the job market down the line?
Cheryl, career politicians probably have never hired anyone except a landscaper and potentially a nanny in their whole lives. We need people that know what to do to create jobs. Look at Meg Whitman. She's actually taking the lead now over Attorney General Jerry Brown. Meg Whitman has created thousands and thousands of jobs. Look what she did for eBay. Why we don't have more of that in D.C. is a conundrum we need to fix.
Mark, what's interesting about Rick Scott in Florida is that there was this smear campaign to make him look like a greedy executive, and voters still went to him. Obviously, they're looking for something a little different now.
You know, you call it a smear campaign. To me, stealing more than $1 billion from the federal government in Medicare fraud, that doesn't sound like a scare campaign. That sounds like something that's pretty scary.
Mark,
hey,
he paid a fine. It was
allegations.
It was allegations. It was through the company. But anyway,
they paid more than $1 billion in fines. That's not an allegation. When you pay more than $1 billion, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Hey,
Mark,
I brought a prop today. This is from the Washington Post. It says the real reason that companies aren't hiring. And what's the real reason? Because of demand. Because CEOs opt for caution. Why are they opting for caution? Because they make more money than they ever have before, and they're still not providing jobs.
That's absolutely
so all these business people that want to make all this money, they're not doing a thing about jobs.
They don't want to expand their businesses.
They only care about their bottom line.
Wait a second. They don't want to expand their businesses and make more money? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that while demand is down, they don't want to make products that no one will buy and hire people that they don't need.
These guys are rational human beings. If they can make more money by expanding their businesses, they would do so. And the reason why they're not is because they're afraid of higher taxes, higher mandates.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
Because they're so greedy, and they know they're so greedy that they know if they expand their businesses, they'll make more money, unless their costs are going up.
Are you going to hire somebody you don't need?
Wayne, let me go back to Wayne Rogers on this one, or at least to say hello to Wayne Rogers. Hello, sir. You know, look, here's the thing.
Good morning.
If these companies, I know, good morning to you. If these CEOs are going out there, they want to expand their business, they want to bring jobs to this country, why can't they do that in D.C. in office? Why not?
Well, there is a very good reason why they can't, because they would then be in the Congress of the United States. The Congress doesn't create jobs. The free market is what creates jobs. Businessmen in politics are fine, but they should be in the administrative part of it. They should be in the bureaucracy. That's where they should be, because those are the people who administer the laws that the Congress has made, and a businessman in that job can then create jobs.
You know,
but still, Jonathan, they're running. But they're still running. Meg Whitman, Carly Fiorina, these are people that want to serve their country. Why shouldn't they?
Right. And know what it's like, Cheryl, to meet a payroll, to expand, to deal with this unbelievable morass of taxes and regulation that guys like, respectfully, Barney Frank and Chris Dodd, who have been in business, who've been in politics their whole lives. I mean, look at some of the resumes. They've been in politics literally from the moment they got out of college. I want people with the discipline, and Mark, I say respectfully, the fairness of the business community.
Wait, how about Jonathan? How about the John Corzine? How about the John Corzine example? I mean, maybe one of the worst politicians ever ran nearly New Jersey into the ground. Guess what? He ran Goldman Sachs for many years. When he got elected, he spent his own money, $60 million worth of it. Everybody thought he was going to do such a great job with the economy. And guess what happened in New Jersey? That's why Chris Christie's there right now. Listen, as much as I would like to see businessmen go into office, sometimes the two don't compute.
Well, but Charlie, to your point, I mean, John Corzine was a Democrat, and look how that worked out for him in New Jersey. Chris Christie is now there. But Tracy, here's the thing. You know, these are people that have created jobs in the private sector. They know business. Maybe we need more business in government, and maybe say goodbye to the likes of a Barney Frank.
But we need more business everywhere. Mark, your comment, I hate to say this, shows a clear lack of understanding of business, because here's why. You keep cash on the balance sheet. You think these CEOs want to hoard cash? What do you do with cash at the end of the day? You pay tax on it. They want to get that cash the heck off those balance sheets.
They
don't know what to do with it, because the Democratic administration right now has created a roadblock, a complete roadblock of uncertainty.
Mark, maybe they're spending and they're not creating jobs.
School.
Mark, maybe they're spending money in D.C. and not creating jobs, and that's why we've had the voter referendums we've had this week.
CEOs are rational. They're not going to create jobs to produce products that nobody's buying.
When taxes are going up,
real engines of the
when
American
taxes
economy
are going up, Mark,
real
when
working
mandates are going up,
healthcare
what are they putting? By the way, Mark, what are they putting that money in? Treasury bills? I mean, what are you talking about?
They're hoarding it.
What are they doing with
money
it?
than they
What are
ever
they doing
have
with
But
it?
Mark, do you
And they're not
understand?
spending it on jobs.
Mark,
because
you don't
there's no
understand.
What
demand.
are they doing? You know, he has a lack of understanding of simple economics. What are they doing with that money?
Mark?
They're hoarding it.
Doing
and
what
I
with it?
say
It's just
the
it's under their
reason why
mattress.
they're hoarding it
And they're
is because
earning
Americans
0%
are not
interest on
buying
it.
things.
They're making money, earning 0% interest.
All
You're
right.
saying.
Mark, you need
That's
to
my
understand.
point.
They don't
Economics
As soon as the
101.
man
Take
goes
the
up,
course.
They
They're
don't
gonna create
want to
jobs.
hoard it, Mark, because
Jonathan?
they owe it back in taxes.
Jonathan Hoenig, let's get back to the issue at hand, and the fact that as we have unemployment at 9.5% in this country, it is jobs, jobs, jobs that people are going to be voting on come November. And from what we've seen already, they're voting on that right now.
And businessmen create, by definition, they create jobs. They create wealth.
Only when
Cheryl,
there's demand.
and they're-
Let Jonathan
they're
finish.
fair. Let me get one word in here, Mark. They're fair. They deal in reality. They're focused. They're disciplined. They have all the qualities that, unfortunately, in my
Jonathan, don't
opinion,
be so
are
blank.
lacking
Remember
Washington.
John Corzine.
Well, Charlie, there are, of course, exceptions. Of course, we know that the market has, a mechanism for dealing with them. Let's hope that voters do as well and put more business people in Washington, get some reality there as well.
Oh, Dwayne, besides the John Corzine example, you do have a lot of fairly successful names that are running in states. In particular, look at California.
Well, successful names, that's fine, but I come back to the point that I made earlier, which you are all making right now, namely that the businessmen in the Congress do not do anything. They don't create jobs just because they're in the Congress or they're in an elected office. They do better when they're in an administrative office, when they are administrating a program that the Congress has already passed. People in the Congress are politicians. If a businessman is a politician, and the Corzine example is a good one, I think Charlie is absolutely right, they don't necessarily create jobs. The free market is what creates jobs, and businessmen create jobs in the free market.
But wait, don't you at least need the people down there to bring the ideas to the table? I mean, right now, we got nothing except who's getting the menu for lunch. We need people down
Tracy,
there
all
to
due
bring
respect, all
and
due
run
respect,
these.
all due respect, businessmen are constantly doing nothing but lobbying the Congress anyway, and I don't see that having any good effect on the economy.
All right, all of you, thanks. It was a great debate. I'm awake. I don't know about everybody else, and I think the Washington Post just called, and they're thanking Mark for the big advertisement on the show. All right, coming up, everybody. As hurricane season kicks into high gear, the government is now looking to bail out homeowners living in high-risk areas, but taxpayers might be the ones needing shelter after this one. Plus, turns out the cash for clunkers is turning into a real clunker for the middle class. We're lifting up the hood. Find out what we've just uncovered.
Yo.